Ready? Okay. Good morning. My name is Sergeant Gordiano. I am going to be discussing on how you can make it to our recruiting team this year. So, if you have any questions, just raise your hand and I'll get to your questions as quickly as possible. Some of these slides are going to look familiar because they are some of the recruiting slides that you probably saw when you got recruited yourselves. So this stuff is, some of these slideshows you are going to be using when you go to these schools. Who here hasn't recruited yet? You have not recruited yet. Okay. Who wants to go to recruiting? Believe it or not, my recruiting team has gone up. It used to be only 3 or 4, now it's gone up to 5, mandatory. So, you are, as upperclassmen, I can take 3 of you. I can only take 2 let ones. Do you understand? Alright, let one can be a freshman or a sophomore. So, but we'll cover that when we get to the slide. Next, please. Alright, what's JROTC? JROTC prepares the high school student for responsible leadership roles while making them aware of the benefits of citizenship. We all know this. This is the selling point for our recruiting trip when we go to every middle school. Alright. We also have 2 brand new middle schools that we're going to this year. So instead of 5, we actually got 7 feeders now. There's actually another middle school that wants us to go to their area, but it falls under Oakland Mills. Like literally, in district. But they still want us to go there. Colonel's thinking about it. So that would make the trip 8. What school is it? I don't know because it's not part of our list. The 2 new ones were just added last week, so just be patient. When we go there, it's about you cadets showing the good side and even some of our bad sides of JROTC. And we're going to be doing this by accomplishment, teamwork, leadership, and discipline. Next. This is the mission of our JROTC, to motivate young people to be better citizens. When we get there, you're the ones that are selling the program, not Sergeant G. All right, Sergeant Johnson doesn't recruit anymore, it's just me. So what's going to happen? We're going to go ahead and rehearse this over and over and you get selected. There's going to be certain slides that you're going to own, and there's certain slides your other team is going to own. But everybody will cover partial of the entire slide. Any questions about that? So in other words, that means you're going to have to get up and talk, not just be a eye candy. Next. Yeah. I know sometimes the slideshow takes a little bit of time. The recruiting team for school year 2014 and 2015, our levels that are going, one level or one is going to be a freshman, the next one's either going to be a sophomore or freshman, and or. Let level 2 is going to be a sophomore, let level 3 is going to be a junior, and let level 4 is a senior. Now, Sergeant Gordiano, the questions that some of the let 1s have is what happens if we don't have a let level 4 for that school? Then I'll take 2 juniors. What happens if I don't have juniors and just sophomores? Then the whole team will be comprised of sophomores and a couple of freshmen. Make sense? I don't want to take cadets that did not attend that school. Yes, ma'am.
I'm on let 3, but I'm a senior, so will I still be able to go?
That's fine too. I was going to work that in as well. Okay, you do know we have some seniors that are going to be either let 2s or let 3s. They're going to be more than welcome to come as a. I'll be considering you as a let 4 for just the recruiting trip.
Okay.
All right. Next. I know it takes time. Just hit it once. Uniform. This is the uniform that the recruiting team is going to be wearing when we go to our trips. Class A is our ASU is going to be for the let level 1. Class B with sweater or black jacket for let level 1. Class C unit shirt. By the way, we have the new unit shirts. They should be here within about a week or 2. Max 2, they said. They're not these brown ones anymore. They're not the big JROTC symbol. They actually look really nice. They fixed it. Senior leadership is going to be, or the upperclassmen are going to be wearing black, and the other classmen are going to be wearing forest green. And the colors on the JROTC emblems in the back are yellow, and they actually have streaks in them. It looks really sharp. I wish picture. I could put it up here so you guys can see. Wouldn't be walking around with this brown one anymore. All right. The ACUs for let 2 or let level 4, a lot of them are usually my Raiders. They already have the uniform, so I usually pick a Raider to go. Class A for ASUs for the 2 and 4. Once again, if there's a 3 that I can take along instead of a 4 because there's just no 4, you're it. What middle school did you go to?
Wild League.
We do go to Wild Lake Middle School. So just be cognizant that hopefully there's not a let 4. And if they have already gone, more the chances I'll try not to take people repeaters, especially like their 3rd or 4th time. I prefer to take people that have done it only once or haven't done it at all. Okay. Next. These are some of the slides that you are going to be introducing to the potential cadets. Whether you be districted or non-districted. You're going to have Raider Battalion events. These are some of ours that we have for this year. Well, these are current working slides because as we know, as the school year goes, we're going to add more or we're going to take away from them. Prime example, the first 3, we're doing them now. Well, we've done them. U Cadet drill at Fort AP Hill, 9/11 flag ceremony this morning, and of course 9/11 at Fort McHenry Honor Guard right now. So as we go through, one of you, more than likely, the senior is going to cover the first 3 slides, which is the mission of the JROTC, what JROTC is, and this one slide right here. Next. The level 1's going to cover this. They're going to be talking about U Cadet trip. Why would I have a level 1 do it? They actually just came out of it. All right. I'll change the pictures to this year's level 1's U Cadet. All right. And it'll have pictures of probably the wall and more than likely the area where we train. The easiest way of doing it, just like he said, you have a person who just went through it. Next. If there's questions, just don't hesitate to ask, okay? Homecoming parade is more than likely going to be also the level 1. We want them to share their experience. All recruiting visits are going to happen in October and November this year. So this slide right here, once again, is going to be a level 1 slide. Next slide, please. Fall and spring trips. This will be a level 2 slide, starting right here. All right, they're going to talk about what we do at Fort AP Hill. Sergeant Coriano, are we going to Fort AP Hill this year? Yes, we are. How many times? More than likely once. All right. Right now we're looking at spring. And right now it looks like the boosters are talking about covering half the cost, which will make it cheaper for you guys to go. Next. Once again, level 2, they'll talk about the military ball. They'll cover about how all 3 JROTCs get together. Now, along with this slide, there's probably going to be a new slide that level 2 is going to have. In the spring, this coming spring, for the first time, all 3 schools are going to get together and have an organizational day. That's going to more than likely, I know, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough, but all 3 schools, all the instructors all nodded their heads and verbally said yes. We would like all our cadets to get together, have a barbecue, organizational day, blah, blah, blah. Now, the deal is, right now, 2 of the schools are saying we can only do it on a Saturday. You see, that's what, I even looked at some of the instructors and I said, guess what? I can guarantee you, if you put this proposal in front of your own cadets, chances are a lot of them are going to say no. Why? Sports.
Work.
It's the weekend. We're getting close to spring break. Do some cadets in 3 battalions, do they like to start their vacation a little bit early?
No.
Yep. Boy, you already started? Wow. It's not even Christmas yet. You're already talking about spring break. All right. So yeah. So there's going to be some stuff that we're going to have to fix for this next slide. and it's, like I said, it's a work in progress. The next slide is gonna actually more than likely cover that. Next. Level 3 is gonna cover this one, JROTC. Now, part of the team, do you think I'm gonna take color guard, drill team, Raiders with me?
Yes.
Yes, but I'm also gonna take cadets that don't belong to teams. Why? Because we gotta show that not only do we care about the cadets that are in our teams, but cadets that are well-rounded students. That means you're working, you belong to sports, football, track, lacrosse, wrestling. A well-rounded student means a well-rounded cadet. So you just don't have to be with us. If you look at the board over my shoulder, it's another 8. Everybody always looks at it and looks at all them cords and looks at all them team badges and stuff. I challenge every one of you that does not belong to an 18 to fight for a position. Just because you don't belong to a team doesn't mean that you're not a leader. Do we understand each other?
Yes, Sergeant.
Aren't you all tired of seeing all females up there?
No.
Our brand new colonel asked me, why is it that all the females run this battalion?
Because we're women.
That's a good question.
We fight.
Yes.
That's a great question. Paul, that's a great question, isn't it? I had no answer. He looked at me and I looked back at him and I said, you know, sir, he goes, the males outnumber the females, but it's all the females that are in charge. Why is that, Sergeant Junior? Sorry, sir. I don't have an answer at this time. He goes, well, we need to change that. And he says, we don't need to change it where it's all males and very few females. He says, we need to equalize it across the board. Makes sense, don't it? Because you want, as a recruiting team, to go out there and make sure that the incoming potential cadets understand that you have an equal opportunity to become a leader in our program. That's why I will take a football player. That's why I'll take a cheerleader. That's why and they don't have to be in our teams. So they can see, hey, I'm well-rounded. I'm not just JROTC. It's not just about winning the cords. It's about being the best that you can be. Next. Level 3 is gonna continue with this slide right here. It's competitions. They're gonna talk about the competitions that we got coming up. You know, this was last year's. We all know that last year we didn't go where? We didn't go to Forestville. We didn't go to Forestville, did we?
I thought we went to Forestville last year.
No, we went to Fairmont Heights.
Forestville was there.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember now.
Yeah.
Everything.
So once again, I challenge you guys to stand up and be counted. Some of you are 2s. We got 1 4 in here. Got any other 4s? Got another 4 back there. But I'm challenging you 2s and 3s to stand up and say, hey man, it's time that we get back on track. Last year we completely went off the tracks. Alright? You need to motivate the ones that are coming up. Next. Service learning project, honor flights, mandatory. It's a grade. First and second quarter are going to be Alpha and Bravo. You're going to team up. You're going to get on buses. You're going to go down to the airline, BWI. You're going to welcome the World War II and Korea. And believe it or not, even some Vietnam vets are starting to be on these flights. Why? Because it was a long time ago, and a lot of the World War II veterans are doing what? They're passing away. They're starting to die off. In the next 10 to 15 years, a lot of them are going to hit their 90s, mid-90s and stuff like that. And they're not going to be around for too much longer. So Honor Flight, in their wisdom, are saying, okay, we've already involved the Korean vets, let's involve the Vietnam vets, because they're about ready to hit their 60s, 70s. one of them deals that we do. It makes them feel great, and it should make you feel great after it's all over and said. Now, Sergeant Gordiano, what happens if I can't make it during the first or second quarter? Then you'll go with Charlie and Delta either third or fourth quarter. But it's mandatory. And the bad thing about it, it's on a Saturday.
In the morning.
In the morning, and it takes what, 2 hours, if that?
In a couple hours.
So if you can't give 2 hours to men that is considered the greatest generation ever, something seriously wrong. If you can't sit there and just let them talk to you for 10 minutes, and they're the ones that start crying, because they don't expect anybody to be there at the airport. But then you have the victory riders are there, we're there, some other schools show up sometimes. Just imagine you're 90 years old and all you expect is that one family member that got flown in with you with a bunch of other old veterans in a plane. Sometimes it's not even full anymore. Every year that I go there, the sizes of the planes are getting smaller. You know, give 10, 15 minutes of yourselves. It's part of your recruiting plan right there. So whoever covers this is going to really cover it. You understand what I'm saying? Remember, they're only giving us 10 to 15 minutes to cover this. No, it's not an hour. Next. I'm talking each slide for you. Like, let's say you have a slide, 2 slides, you're only going to get between 5 to 10 minutes. So you got to be quick. It's an hour. An hour goes like that. All right. Next slide is probably going to be by the 3 again. And then we'll talk about awareness and fundraisers. Let 3 is going to get the front of it. Why? Because the let 4 at the beginning gets the 3 first slides. And a lot of kids are interested in those first 3 slides because they start asking questions about wow. And then by the time this comes around, they already started to say, okay, you know, the sophomore is going to get hit with the teams and all that stuff. You remember those days? A lot of questions. All right, next slide. Community service, it'll go back to the let 4. He's talking about what his or her experience is. All right, next slide. Are there any questions on what we covered today for you to become a recruit, part of the recruiting team? No? Remember, when we get back from this long weekend, there's going to be a sign-up roster. First come, first serve. Got it?
Yes, sir.
I need your name, last name, first name, company, and it's going to have it on there so you don't forget. And it also is going to have what middle school you attended. Sergeant G, I did not attend a middle school here in Howard County. So it does not make it like, no, you can't go. All right? We'll fit you something. All right, go.